what you want? And are you getting
Welcome back. No means nerds. No means nothings. No means no necks. No means nakeds. To the podcast where three absolutely... Well, first I should say the name of the podcast, maybe. No Means Nothing podcast. I'm out of podcast. I'm out of fucking shit.
Wow.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start over.
No, please leave it. Please. You rarely fuck up.
Welcome to the No Means Nothing podcast, the podcast where three absolute fucking idiots, as evidenced by my botched introduction, do their best to find the very best No Means No song of all time. Spoilers, there isn't one. I'm one of your hosts, Jordan.
I'm Matthew. Hello.
And I'm Michelle, the icing on the cake.
And it's a real episode this week, as you can tell, but my co-hosts, sorry, not sorry for my little interjection last week. We didn't have an episode because Michelle thought she could actually fucking go have a life, which is ridiculous. We've corrected that.
She enjoyed it very, very much.
Very much.
Sure,
She's
yes,
a good
she
time.
Did.
A good time.
I used actual vacation days.
It's always wonderful to go home and see your family, your wonderful, loving family.
Yeah.
Oh,
sometimes that's good, but
they're not listening. I used actual vacation days for that.
Ooh,
that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, we know.
Right?
Yeah, I'm sure there are many listeners out there who can relate.
I'd like to sue.
So, yeah, we're back. We have four great songs. I want to sue the soup. No soup, or no suing.
No soup for you.
No soup for you.
I actually had goulash for dinner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I have not had dinner yet because dinner was late tonight. And so I just had to come up. So I'm going to be a hungry little boy. I did not pour myself a stiff drink tonight because otherwise I'd be fucked up because I got nothing in my belly. Speaking of which, let's dive in a little bit to what we're drinking. You all know what I'm drinking.
Is this going to be our first entirely dry? No, Michelle's drinking something.
No, I'm having the real thing.
Okay.
I got whiskey. I'm just not drinking a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have a little bit of this. Smells good tonight too. I'm looking forward to it. Michelle, what are you doing tonight? Oh, baby. Oh, that was good.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
right,
that was good.
Oh, my God.
Excuse me. Just going to rearrange things a little bit.
You got a little chub, don't you? A little beer chub.
That sounds good. I'm telling you, man, that's a whole fucking... There's got to already be an ASMR genre for opening beers.
Of course there is. Unless there must be.
And
yeah, I'm having a real
and Guinness
goddamn
has to be at the top of it. Nice. Yes, good.
I got a 4-pack tonight because, goddamn it, I wanted one.
But yeah, you're still.
But I got a 4-pack of the fake stuff though, so.
Okay, well that's good. That's good.
I had
and
fake
Matthew,
stuff last night.
What's your libation for esta noche?
Well, I'm still not drinking alcohol,
which is great.
It's over 2 months now, which is pretty
Jesus.
for a glass of wine on what would have been my dad's 83rd birthday.
Right.
Yeah. A little exception. But tonight I have a clever sangria. It is a mocktail sangria.
Nice.
So let's see what
that actually sounds really
right.
fucking good. Sangria's got so much flavor, and the alcohol isn't the biggest part of it.
Not
I bet you that's going to taste. Yeah, I bet it's going to taste good as fuck.
What color is it? Is it like pink or something?
Sangria.
Pink or red, right?
Yeah.
No, it's green. Is the sangria green?
No.
It's usually red wine based.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Hey. All right.
I was being an asshole. So, cheers to both of you. I need to know how to taste, Matthew. You got to take a sip.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have a report.
It's too foamy.
He smelled it
looks
first.
Good. Looks good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah, no,
all
it's
right.
good.
Well, you had to get it on the palate.
You didn't chew it.
Well, you can't. Yeah. It doesn't look so chewy. It looks more sparkly and yummy. Excellent. Well, listen, everyone at home, pop them if you got them. You know how we love to hear what you've got drinking. Hopefully someone's out there walking Teddy, popping a cold one maybe. Got someone on the beach because it's fucking summer. You're popping a cold one. Got some friends down in Brazil, I think, maybe Argentina. Hopefully you're out somewhere cool as fuck.
Shit.
I really enjoyed looking at our Instagram account and all the people that have followed us and getting to see where they are. People have got some cool ass shit going on. I know we all just post the good parts of our lives on Instagram.
Right.
That's fine. But still, cool ass shit. I love to see it. It's a hell of fun.
We should start some posts of just terrible shit.
Yeah, probably.
There's some shit that happened to me today that sucked. I think everybody
know.
should do that.
I
There
try
should
to
be
do
one
that.
day
I
of
think
that.
you should. You should. People should be honest about shit.
Okay.
But anyway, out there, post them if you got them. Not post them. Just fucking Jesus Christ. This is going to be a long one for me, I think, folks.
Wow, you're not,
Drink them if you got them. Don't drink and drive. Feel free to drink on the toilet. You know how it works. So
And don't
we were
say
going
bass when you mean bass.
now I'm going to be fucked. You had to say it. Now I'm fucked the whole podcast. Okay. Bass, 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 bass. Say that in the mirror 7 times, and Rob appears. All right. So we're going to go ahead, I think, and get started.
Yeah.
Can
Can we just talk about this first pairing? I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy that Terrible Machine evoked. Can I say them?
Sure. Do it.
Well, it's Paradise versus Lost. So what we have
Right?
is Paradise
Paradise
Lost.
Lost.
Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, today's episode is brought to you by Milton, apparently, and it's pretty fucking wild. Pretty wild. Yeah. That's one of my low-key favorite parts of this whole process is just the randomness and how it brings up some pretty cool shit. And I'd have to say, like, the two pairings together, again, are sort of like... Anyway, they have some parallels, but
Totally.
Paradise versus Lost. So we've got Paradise off of Sex Mad, You Kill Me, 1986. That was up on episode 25. And both Matthew and Michelle voted for that, where I voted for Under the Sea. So it came out over Under the Sea. It was not a unanimous decision. I would stand by my decision. I think I'd still vote for Under the Sea. And Lost, which is off of Worldhood of the World as Such, 1995, and of course off of the 0 + 2 = 1.5, the version with Andy. That was in episode 8, so early on, up against Slave off the tour EPs. And that was a unanimous decision. Lost, I think, easily swept Slave aside, which I would also still agree with 1,000%.
Though Slave would have done better against something else, I think, for me, at least.
It might have. It's still my least favorite of the tour EP songs, but still a good one. Saying a least favorite no means no song is like saying, oh, it's the least beautiful, expensive diamond. I mean, what do you get fucking... So we're going to go ahead and get started. I start off this week, but before we dive into Paradise Lost and make our way through the circles of hell guided by Lucifer, we are going to hear a little bit of pastiche of these songs. Paradise and Lost.
Clips. For
So a
your lips.
reminder of how we do it now for those that are new to the podcast. There are none of you, but if you were, we break this into rounds, right? So all three of us are going to go on this first topic around. We're going to kind of compare and contrast the songs, talking about lyrics, performance, where the lyrics fit the music, personal highlights, things that bug me, you, them, etc. Then we'll do the second round, which is how representative the song of No Means No is of No Means No as a whole, what place it occupies in the oeuvre of No Means No, and I think a very interesting little bit of would we introduce a newbie to No Means No using either of the songs? And then, of course, we vote. So I'll go ahead and get it started. So Paradise versus Lost. Two fucking completely drastically different songs. One from the really fun, musically ambitious, goofy side of the ledger, I would say, in Paradise. And then Lost, which is the more sort of banger, anthemic, right in the wheelhouse groove kind of lane of No Means No. But both really, really good songs. I think I have often in the past, and probably was on the last episode, a tad dismissive of Paradise. It has never been a song that hooked me super hard. I'm not really ashamed, but it was certainly one of those ones that when I would listen to Sex Mad, I would skip it. I would hit that fast forward button. But like many songs of that nature, doing this podcast, when I listen to it deeply and again and again and again, and with headphones and really try to hear past the surface of it, it's absolutely grown on me. This is a great fucking song. It's fucking hilarious. What a great kind of encapsulation of youthful boredom and the just fucking like, is this really going to be my life, working in a paint store? And this is bullshit. I hate working for the man. All this, it's really got a 20s energy to it of working bullshit retail. I love the playful energy of the vocals, in particular, the way they've layered them. You've got Andy out front in one of these just laconic board, and you've got in the background both Rob and Rob and John, like layers back, saying things, repeating things throughout the whole song, kind of overlaid that you can easily miss. You've got these great fucking musical sections that just are more complex than they have any right to be with a song like this. Frankly, the bass lines are fucking
nice
good.
Line. More complex than they need to be.
Well, it's just
I
know what I
know
mean?
what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's a fun fucking song, and I think it falls in a good place in the album. It's a good palate cleanser from some of the more anthemic, heavy, rocky, like hardcore shit that comes kind of towards the end of that album, like Manic Depression and Revenge and shit like that. This is a fun song. It's just fun, and one of my favorite parts is if you can think of anything to say, write us care of the address on the back of this record, right? That's I don't know, it's so fucking funny. I to this day gotta ask Andy at some point, did they ever get anything that they think was because they asked for it on the back of this album? Like,
that's funny.
I never sent anything, right, until I sent Rob that letter. That's the first time I ever fucking reached out to him. So yeah, Paradise, great song. I'll probably have a little bit more to say about it in a second, but to pivot to Lost is, it's fucking great. And I think not more than other pairings where you've got the two versions on 0 + T = 1.5 and the studio. But I appreciate both of these versions of Lost for different reasons. There are a lot of these pairings that I prefer one or the other pretty distinctly. Not so on this one. There are elements of both that I really, really like, but still, I think the 0 + 2 = 1.5 version wins out for me because it's got a kind of hardcore rawness and crunchiness that is just fucking good. And Andy, when I was really listening to it close this time, Tom does a great job with the guitar, but there's just that knife's edge grittiness that's kind of subtle in a sense of like where Andy is really letting loose with those textures in parts that do not happen in the studio version, where you can tell in a way that, I don't know, Tom just didn't feel as free to do that, but Andy was just kind of given these subtle textures. There's also the keyboard in that version in the 0 + 2 = 1.5, which adds a shit ton to it. I love that keyboard. And I just think this song fucking slays. It is so good, and it's probably one of my favorite tracks off of Worldhood. It's also the one for me that proves I was wrong about when I disparaged the production on this album. It makes me know that the production on the other songs is intentional, which doesn't mean that I don't have issues with it, but it wasn't just like a bad production. When they wanted to get it right, they could. And this one, like the bass is really up front. One thing that Parker pointed out to me, which I thought was really interesting, Parker's my kid who loves Snow Meets Snow. He loves the vocal performance in this, but he in comparing it to 0+2=1, which is what the song would have ended up on or could have, right? Because it was it was written during that time. Rob has more reverb a little bit, just a little bit in 0+2=1. So he sounds farther away and just kind of more epic almost and more anthemic. And it's more just straight up in Worldhood. He's right in front of the mic. There's really not much effects processing on it. And I don't know. I think I would love to have heard what this would have been like had it been recorded really with the 0+2=1 sessions. But in any event, they're both great versions. Funny that one of them starts off with Andy. That's clearly the 1.5 version with his guitar picking. And then the other one starts off with John doing the little snare hit. But the song's just so fucking good. And, for a long time, I didn't really know what the song was about. And I hadn't thought about it too much. I would try to wrap my head around it. And I think last time I listened to it, cracked it a little bit, feeling like it for myself, thinking like it was, kind of a post-apocalyptic piece about, people being lost in some fascistic world. But this time I've not backed off on that, but I think I've felt it a little bit more in relation to some of their other songs, and in particular to I Need You, strangely, in the sense of this is another aspect of how the I needs the other, but in a very particular sense of how our sense of self-preservation can make the I seem so much more important and can literally make us fuck over others in really desperate situations, like running away from them and saving ourselves, or turning them in to the authorities and all this kind of shit that we think is going to save us. And yet when that's done, we've lost everything. We're lost, because we don't have the other. That's all we actually in the end wanted. And then we don't have it anymore. And it keeps talking about that in all these different ways. It keeps, you screamed that I sold you out, that there had to be something I could do. But what chance did we have? I said, just us two, right? This feeling of the narrator of the song really fucked someone over, but only out of self-preservation. And now they're just really regretting it. But it's that other sort of arch sense of how important the other is. But when we're panicked, or when my existence is threatened, we might just give that up. But you're going to fucking regret it. You're going to sit there watching the TV, trying to get through. You're going to call and call and call. That's all you want to do is make contact again. You're not going to be happy sitting there going like, well, at least I'm alive. No, you're going to be living in regret the rest of your fucking life.
You're going to be living in the land of the lost.
Living in the land of the lost. That's right. Of missing, missing parts, right? Yeah. Missing parts, the part of yourself that's missing. Mm-hmm. So from not knowing at all what it's about to having a kind of literal interpretation to now I really feel like it fits into that dialogue, especially that Rob has with the I and the you, the I and the other, in a very particular way, in a very scenario-driven way, but in a way that's very universal, right? This is an experience that, fortunately, I've never had to have, but millions of people throughout time have had to have. Do I save myself or do I save the other? And do any of us really know until we're in that situation what we would do? Many of us would like to think, oh, of course I would sacrifice myself for someone I love. If to say nothing of a stranger, but would we? You don't know until you're in that position. And I do know that for myself, if I ever didn't make the right choice, I would, like this narrator, I would fucking regret it for the rest of my life, because that's, in the end, what ends up being most important is your own, is your connection to the other. That's what defines you. So I just appreciate the lyrics in this more and more and more every time I listen to it. It's really fucking great. And Rob's vocal performance is so fucking good. All their vocal performances are great. Andy's I like above Tom's in their parts of it, but Tom is still really fucking good in this. And one of the things that I really drilled into musically with Lost this time that I love is how there's the subtle difference in the main riff between the guitar and the bass. The guitar is just the but the bass has an extra uplift. It's just this great, and when they play together, it's just so fucking good.
It is.
And in the 0 + 2 = 1.5, the bass comes in so thunderously at times in
Oh.
ways that it doesn't quite do in the same ways in the studio recorded version. I just
He
fucking love
sounds
it.
so good.
So
He
good.
sounds so good.
It's so good. And the two of them
Man.
together are just so good. And of course, John with the little snare hits and then everything else about it. They're all playing so well together. John's the 3-part harmony they go into, not harmony necessarily, but when they're doing like the 3 different vocal parts that overlap is so fucking good. This is an absolute top tier No Means No song. It is so fucking good. And it's very coherent to me. And I think as much as I've grown to appreciate Paradise, it still doesn't have a cohesion. I still don't feel like it all comes together for me. I can appreciate every part of it. I appreciate the lyrics being the snottiness, the delivery. I appreciate the fuck out of the different sections. I appreciate the musicianship. For some reason, it still doesn't fully congeal into a song that makes me go, fuck yeah. It's way better. It's risen way higher in my esteem than it was originally because I finally fucking paid attention like I should have. But I put it against something like Lost, and I don't. It doesn't have the cohesion to me that even other songs on Sex Mad do for some reason. But I think they're both really, really fucking good songs, and again, from 2 very, very different sides of the No Means No oeuvre. So. I probably there's going to things I haven't said that I'll regret, but I'm gonna pass it on. Michelle, what do you think of these 2?
I just burped. Okay, I'll start out with Paradise, and I wrote OPPFT, right, Matthew? The way the song starts out, huh? And I wrote some googly eyes there. Another example of when you listen to this band and say to yourself, just what in the hell is this? The beginning of it sounds like you've mentioned this before, Jordan, where it's like it sounded like they dropped a needle in the middle of the record.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's tremendous. It's great. They're too good to be compartmentalized. There's a hodgepodge of gnarly in here once again, and listening to it, John once again is just so impressive to listen to. I like Andy's monotoned, but I really get a kick out of that. I was born. It's so funny. Going against Lost is a compelling competition here. I love the seriousness, boom, doom, gloom of Lost, but I equally love the composition and craftsmanship of Paradise. It's also filled with a bit of humor once you listen to the lyrics and how they're delivered. So on Lost, this song is so good. This incredible buildup. And by the way, this was the song when I was sitting up with Blair in New York. I think it was at the Knitting Factory. Am I right? Was it the Knitting Factory?
No, we were with Blair sitting up in the Brooklyn show. There was a Knitting Factory show, but it was the Brooklyn show, which was not the Knitting Factory.
I was sitting with Blair up at the
Blair.
Knitting Factory too, and I think you were there at the Knitting Factory too.
I was there.
I don't
both,
know. Yeah. I think it was a Knitting Factory, and they played this, and that's where I had my hand on the knob for Rob. And then when he comes in, oh God, his bass sounds so good there. And I turned it up. It was just, oh God. But that's the first time I met you, Jordan, where I was up in the booth with Teddy Bear Blair. Anyways, great use of tritones in this song, right at the point when the verses come into just pure anxiety. Once again, the simplicity of John hitting the snare. I want to talk about this. That is so clever to me. That snare just hit. That's just playing underneath the I don't know what are they, the lyrics, I guess, or not the lyrics, but the help me.
You mean just the
riff?
the
verses? The verses.
Yeah, the verses.
Whatever. Just that snare hitting that.
It's so fucking good.
It's so good. It's so intelligent.
It's like a ticking time bomb, right?
It's so intelligent to me. Yeah. And there's, like I said, tons of tritones in this song for the anxiety, and it's got just this great riff. To compare it to its competitor, it's a googly-eyed, anxiety-ridden onslaught, and you can't not like it.
Excellent.
There.
Fuck
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right, Matthew, what you got?
Yeah.
Well, again, Paradise Lost. which one's gonna fall.
That's right. Drag to hell.
Paradise, yeah, that is a really good characterization of like just dropping in the middle of the record. But
Yeah.
the comparison between the songwriting, Paradise is just so intense all the way through, and it's there's a lot of variety. I mean, there's that whole ska part, and
Yeah, right.
there is a little bit of room in it where near the end where sort of a little bit slow, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But in general, it's the same intensity all the way through. While Lost has so much contrast, in terms of the quiet and loud and crescendos and decrescendos. There are no crescendos and decrescendos in Paradise. It's always just like turn to 11 almost the entire thing. I really like that. It's like switching channels almost.
Yeah.
They're just like instant. They're perfectly synced up because seem very unrelated to each other. Certain parts in Paradise, but they obviously they sync up,
interesting.
but they're very very different musically.
Yeah.
The lyrics, I mean, such as they are perfect for what it is. The performance, manic and amazing. I'm just wondering whether it could be or was it ever performed live. I don't remember enough about No Means No Shows to remember whether I'd ever actually seen it. And I didn't see that many Andy shows either, or whether that Tom would have taken over that laconic spiel that Andy does so well. Obviously,
I bet they never played it with Tom. I bet you they never played it with Tom. I can't
probably
imagine.
not, except that Tom definitely would have. I mean, he could have.
He could have
improvised his own shit over top of it because it's a song about Victoria.
Right, for sure.
I said that
yeah,
before.
for sure.
I mean, growing up in Victoria, there's just like so much froth going on, just like in terms of the angst of the kids and everything like that. But then just it's so boring a lot of the other time. It's just a beautiful little town by the ocean on an island, touristy, but also a lot of poverty and other things going on, a lot of class problems and that sort of stuff. But in terms of the lyric, it's boredom versus chaos. Lyrics compared to the music. It's very much Victoria. In Lost, again, there are themes that go through the whole thing, but there's a lot more sort of tidal action, I would almost say, where there's more contrast and quiet parts. In terms of the performance, though, everybody does their thing, and they trade off well. I love every aspect of it. There's a parts where they're all singing at the same time. I've described No Means No songs as a braid before, where it's just like you can see the individual streams, but they're making a perfect unit. And one thing I really like about the song, I don't know, I might have mentioned this last time, I can't think of any other examples, but they have actually used some of Andy's vocals from the 0 + 2 = 1.5 in this. So this is one of the only. Yeah, no, I'm
really
positive. Yep.
Oh wow!
So it's the only song where all four of them are in it.
Which parts do you think did they do that for?
It's not. No, it's. Well, I found I'm lost. That's
You don't think that's John? It feels to me like that's John taking over Andy's parts in that.
Maybe you're right.
I
sometimes
thought
hard
that
to.
was John singing. I know those too. Sometimes
it's tricky though because I thought the same thing you did. It sounds. It could be Andy. It could be.
I think they might have taken the tracks because it's really, really identical. From it's one of the few things that is pretty much the same. I could easily be wrong, but in any case. It made me think they were all four of them. But
for sure.
It's certainly nice to think about.
That's interesting.
I don't know that we ever figured that out. I suppose we could ask Andy about that.
Yeah.
Well, he might not know because he wasn't involved in that recording, right? Whether they lifted it or not.
But he'd be able to tell if that was him.
If it was him, no, that's true.
If that's true. Himself, the lyrics and music, it's so stark. It conveys exactly what the lyrics are about. It actually sometimes reminds me of that movie poster from the Hitchcock movie North by Northwest, where there's this a guy running away from a biplane.
Yeah, that's a good pull.
Kind of reminds me of that, like an open plane where there's nowhere to hide. And it's definitely sort of one of the mythological what Nomi's no mythology songs. I certainly let's see what else. My notes are very scribbly today. What I like in particular about Paradise is the fact that there's so many different bits and you make them all work. And there's so much ska stuff in it.
That's so good. Yeah.
It's so funny. And I think my favorite thing is the little interjections, which I think have to be John. And there's an Andy going, it's a very James Brown-esque, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And then they actually do that chick thing that they do in ska music. I love the piano flourish at the end, of course.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things that bug me about it, very little. Except that when you listen to the original mix, it's faster and it's a little sillier, a little more out of control, maybe.
Ooh, I've never heard that.
Oh no, the original "You Kill Me" mix. Haven't you? Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's easier to pull out the lyrics as well. It's much easier to hear them, and I kind of wish that you could hear them better in the more common version. But at the same time, I do like how it's kind of like you have to really listen for it.
You have to really work.
Yeah. Let's see. And things I really like about Lost. I really like the repetitive snare. I love the keys in the
oh my god,
the 1.5 version. And then the bass in the bridge is just so.
Oh my god!
Like the peal of a bell. Dung,
yes.
Dung,
dung, that is the best.
Dung.
I mean, that's one of the simplest things that Rob plays in any song, and it just is so.
Oh.
Man.
Yeah. So good.
Shit.
And I really like the guitar, Tom's guitar, actually.
Yeah.
The angular, more Andy-ish guitar in the 0+2 1.5 version. I like it, but I actually really like the guitar. It's a little rounder, a little more, I don't know, maybe more in tune with the. I don't know whether Andy's type of playing would have been so in tune with the rest of the stuff on Worldhood.
No, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. It wouldn't. It does situate the album with the rest of the album, right? It wouldn't. You couldn't. Yeah, 100%.
And it used to be that I would always say that I like the 0+2 = 1.5 version better, but now I don't know. I could decide which one I like better. One thing
that's a good song though, right?
Like
you can hear two different versions and
exactly
you like them
absolutely.
both. That's awesome.
One thing I don't like about the positioning of the song of maybe it would depend on my mood, I think, but I don't like Predators right after it. It's a very wrong mood for me.
It is, although it's interesting that it's too. Yeah. It is interesting that it's two Andy era songs though, right? Because Predators, another one. Predators goes back for them really fucking early. There's like a 1981 college or like high school basketball court. Fucking like that they were playing that shit with Predators? Andy. Yeah. It goes way back, early. But yeah, you're right. It's very jarring.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, that's all I get to say about that part of the round.
Nice. All right. I'll start second topic round. And one thing I forgot to say is that I had mentioned last time, and I listened for it even closer this time, and I'm 100%. It's in both versions. I think it's Andy on one and John on the other. When there's that, when the guitar is going like, there's also someone going, like making that noise over it. So they're like adding to the guitar distortion. Because you can hear Andy going and he like has a lilt at the end, and it adds in such a cool ass. Listen to it. Carefully. Listen to it again, and when they're doing that part where Andy's guitar is going, or Tom's guitar is going like, you can hear someone going like, it's fucking great.
But then I've also heard somebody humming on the where Rob's playing that bass, the boom boom boom.
Maybe
I've heard somebody humming in the back.
Yeah, it could be. I think there's more to the production than meets the eye.
I have. Have you guys
but
heard
anyway,
anybody humming in that?
Haven't
I have
noticed
not.
it. But
I have not.
I don't
But
know.
the,
It's
but
not
the
there.
gek 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 part is so fucking good that now I hear it.
Jeez, I
just
gotta
fucking
go
love
back
it.
and listen to that. How did I not hear
So
that?
songs representative of No Means No as a whole. Both of these I think are in a sense like Paradise really is like how they can be fun and goofy, but fun and goofy and it's with fucking utter virtuosity and complexity
Yeah.
underneath. I mean, it's like, are you
Yep.
fucking kidding? I mean,
Yeah.
Matthew, you talking about how it's like changing channels. That's exactly
yeah,
right.
I liked
That's
that.
exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it is representative in a certain way, yes. Lost, I think, is very representative. I think it represents their virtuosity. I do think it's a very fun song. I think it has the lyrical ambiguity, but the kind of lyrics that you can really just fucking dive into and think about over and over and still never come to a clear, final understanding of what it means. Great fucking vocal performance from Rob.
Yes.
But the other one has that great sense of like how they're so playful, and you've got these layers where they put the both of you mentioned the interjections and shit, which are so fucking good in Paradise. So these are representative of the oeuvre as a whole. I do think that maybe Lost sits higher on that. If there's a scale, maybe there's not a scale. That's just my own subjectivity. But they fit firmly in lanes. Although I think Paradise sits in a lane that's like the lane that shows how undescribable they are. So it's not like, oh, it's this lane. It's like, no, this is a lane that shows No Means No. It's like, you can't fucking say what this song is. What are you going to say? What genre is this? You can't. Fuck you. Like, it's not a democracy. Fuck you.
They're too good to be compartmentalized.
They are too good to be compartmentalized.
Yep.
And this is a really good example of that. And Lost, to move into the newbie part of it. It's funny. I was talking to Parker, as I often do on our walks, about these songs. And he mentioned that Lost is the one that he plays first for anybody he's introducing the band to. That's his go-to newbie song. And the more I listen to it, I'm like, actually, that's really fucking good because it's not off-putting. It's really hardcore, but it's also very melodic. The lyrics, the way that Rob sings them and does his, he both sings and does his speak singing. It's got all of that in it. So it's got all the representative bits. But it's really engaging, and I think it is something as an outsider you could listen to and go like, "Oh, that's fucking good," right? Like,
yeah.
So I think I actually am coming around that I think it's a really fucking top tier newbie song to introduce people to because it slaps. It fucking slaps every part of it.
Slaps.
And Matthew, another thing you pointed out, which I think was good, or was really salient rather, is that it isn't one note, right? There are songs. I mean, we're about to hit a song later in this podcast that is a consummate one note song, but in a really, really good way. And in terms of the interplay of it, but yeah, there's something about Paradise that it doesn't give me time to rest in a certain way. Whereas Lost has that texture. It has a rhythm. It has a tide, as you said. But I think both of you were fucking spot on in what you said. I think, I wouldn't introduce Paradise. I would say that in terms of introducing a newbie, I 100% never ever would say, "Hey, listen to this." I don't even know if there was frankly, it's not because I don't like the song. It's just there's so many songs stacked above it that I would recommend to somebody if they were first getting into No Means No or had been into them a little while. This is one I'd let people discover on their own, Paradise. Whereas Lost, I think I would put up front for somebody for sure. So there's that. Michelle, what do you think of those?
Interesting. I'd like your reasoning with playing it or not playing it because it's a tough question to answer really because it depends on the person. Are you sitting in a room listening to music together? Are you at a party? Right. I don't know. It's tough. Paradise. Would I play this for someone? Yes. Would I play it for someone to say, "Sit down and listen to this"? No, but I'd still play it. Now, I would play Lost, sit down and listen to this, because it's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Right? But, I mean, Paradise is, it's like, I've referred to one of their other songs, it's just so condensed. It's like a fucking tumor.
Mm-hmm. Tumor!
And well, it is. It's just this gnarled mess
cancerous growth.
Yeah.
Teeth and hair.
It's very, very condensed.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you're talking about that kind of music, yeah, I'd play that for somebody. But if you want to play something out of these two, which is like, listen to this, immediately you've got a bunch of stuff to discuss about how the song starts, and I'm so intrigued again by that goddamn snare drum.
Yeah.
Like, talk about pulling it all out and just putting the bare minimum in there. But
Yeah.
even that bare minimum sounds so colossal.
And so intentional, right? Like it's what's needed for the song. He did it because it's
like
what's
little
needed.
stabs and little pokes
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
it's fucking. I don't know. John's a goddamn genius.
That's right.
But with this podcast, I'm really admiring John's work.
Oh, big time.
So much more than I ever did before. I mean,
as a
I used
composer,
to,
not just a drummer, as a fucking composer.
Well,
Jesus.
yeah, and just what he's doing back there.
Yeah.
God, he's too good.
Agreed.
All right, I think I said my stuff.
All right, Matthew.
Yeah, Paradise. Yeah, it's certainly representative in the fact of the incredible chops and tightness and the humor in it, and Lost maybe quintessentially representative of No Means No, I would say. I don't know that Paradise is super important in the grand scheme of things in terms of No Means No's work. Lost, I think, is extremely important. It's a bridge between eras. Because whether or not that was John on the Worldhood version, it is a song where all members over time, except maybe Kid Kempster, played on it, and it certainly is one that gave me a lot of hope because I had heard this one long before it came out on Worldhood, so I knew it was floating around in there. And yeah, it belongs easily in sort of the earlier and later periods. It can really just sort of stand on its own. It's it is unique. I could probably pull out some other songs that are similar to it, but it really stands on its own for me. Yeah, for Paradise, I don't think that I would introduce a newbie to it. It's just a little too chaotic. It's funny, but you'd have to be pointing that out because I don't think a newbie's going to really listen carefully. And there's a lot of in jokes.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I think the whole thing kind of is an in joke especially for people from Victoria or anybody who grew up in a shitty little small town. Although maybe not everybody grows up in one that everybody else from outside of it says they envy you for living in. Right.
Huh.
And would I recommend Lost? Yes, absolutely, to a newbie. I think if I wanted somebody to like this band, as well as if I wanted to reintroduce somebody who knew them a long time before, or only knew like the earlier album, because a lot of people seem to stop listening to them after Andy left, I would absolutely use this. And I don't know, maybe the one. Because I thought about Now as like a first song to let people listen to, or maybe Dark Ages, but this one might be even more of a candidate than most.
I sort of agree. The more I listen to it, I sort of agree. It was never my go-to before, but now when I listen to it even more, I'm like, this would be a fucking good one to first hear. It's really
great.
Good.
It's great. Yeah.
All right. Anybody got any final thoughts before we do our vote on this fucker?
Not really.
I like the lines. I go home. What's he say? I go home after work each day. Come home and watch the news.
Yeah.
I like that.
I go to work each day. Come home and watch the
news.
What chance did we have? I think just us two.
Yeah. It's cool.
All right. Well,
the mundanity. Actually, the mundanity and the chaos. That is indicative. Both of these songs are that way.
Yeah.
Right. God, Rob sounds so good singing that, doesn't he? Jesus
I love the fact that he talked about
Christ.
missiles with eyes, search for all who survive, which prefigured drones, which were not a thing back then, but now they're a thing. And so he was prefiguring drone warfare a decade or two early.
Yep.
All right, so now it's time for the voting. No surprise for me.
Wait, did we ask if it's a No Means No song or not? Or I think we kind of covered it.
We got there.
Right.
So it's time for a third round vote. No surprise for me. It's lost by several circles of hell. So there you go. Michelle, you're the one I'm interested in. I think you're going to be the wild card.
I had a little hard time with this one because I really, really like both of them. But I did circle Lost.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Yep.
Matty,
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely Lost.
Look at that.
My boys.
Paradise is fun to listen to, but Lost is I don't know. Paradise is fun.
Yeah.
Lost is a work of art.
It is. It's essential. It's essential.
Yes, essential.
It should probably end up pretty far in our rounds, I think.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what it comes up against. But it might get a really bad pull next time, but it deserves respect. They both do.
Oh,
but.
man.
All right, well, look at everybody. Paradise is no paradise, apparently, even though we loved it.
Oh, no.
And Lost is found. So there you go. Now we're going to go into our interstitial. And first of all, apologies to several of you out there who did send us submissions that I totally fucking missed.
Both
Total overlooking. If you're someone else out there who sent us in something and was like, oh, they must have not liked my shit. Bullshit. We've liked everything that was sent in. I'm really grateful to both of these people for going, hey, no offense, but did you just fucking forget my shit? Listen,
Did somebody contact and say, "Where's my thing"?
Two people did,
Oh, honey. Oh.
I asked people to do it
them
first
have
of
the
all.
same fucking name.
Yeah, which is crazy in different languages. So that's ironic.
My
and
name.
wonderful. Yeah. So if you're someone else, first of all, who did send something in and we forgot it, please let us know because we want to read all of them. They're all good. And second, if you haven't sent something in, then please do it, Matthew. Actually, I'm going to say this part since you're going to read you're going to read it for us this time. But we want you to send in anything really. We just love to hear from you.
We demand that you send in.
In the first round, we were asking people to send in your no means no origin story. Any good no means no story you might have related to the band, a concert you saw that meant a lot to you, something like that, meeting the band, that kind of thing, or what no means no means to you. And we would still love to hear that. And of course, we would love to hear that first and foremost in your own voice. So we haven't had one of those in a long time. If you could record into your iPhone and share it with the address, no means nothing podcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear it. But if you don't, want to do that, then write it to us in an email, no means nothing podcast@gmail.com. You can tell us which one of us you wanted to read it. We'd love to hear it. And also, you don't have to just write in that. I'd like to invite, we've had none of this yet, but I'd like to invite people to send in emails talking about how we really got a particular vote wrong. A song that's been cast into the outer darkness that really got a fucking bad shape. Right?
Yeah.
What is that? Is it Beat on the Brat?
Tell me why.
Tell me why
Oh
No Bruno or Beat on the Brat got a bad shake, right? Any of them. Just do it. But regardless, we just like to hear from you. We really would.
Yeah.
If you're a new listener, just reach out to us and we'd love to hear you. But for now, I'm going to pass the mic to my buddy Matthew, who's got a listener submission. So off to you, sir.
Yeah. I was just going to say as well, yeah, just totally send in. If you have already sent in your, send in more stuff. Like if you already sent in the main 3 questions, the sort of icebreaker questions that we always tout. Send in more. Send in, again, arguing with us about our choices or, tell us a story of, where you were when you were listening to, our episode that you disagreed with and you're like screaming in at your car stereo sitting in the parking lot of a mall or something.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Parking lot of a mall.
Okay.
What are you doing in a parking lot in a mall?
I don't know.
What do you
selling
always
paint?
do in the parking lot of a mall?
Okay, so
I want to see a picture of your dog too. Let's show me a picture of the dog.
Alrighty,
Yeah,
so I'm going to
dog.
read this reader submission.
Yeah.
Strangely, the 2 people who wrote in and complained both have the name Matthew in different languages. So I have been asked to read them, being that we share a name. So, without further ado, hello, Mate here. First of all, I would like to apologize for my crappy English. I understand it perfectly. Communicating it, on the other hand, not so much. You know what? This is me, Matthew, not Slovenian Matthew talking. Don't apologize for your English, man, because my Slovenian sucks, as we're about to discover. Because he said the name of his town, which I'm going to do my best to pronounce, because it has a lot, like many former Yugoslav nations, they have a lot of fucking consonants. Trbovia. I'm from Trbovia, a small town
Whoa.
in Slovenia. One of the favorite countries during the touring years of yours truly, which you already mentioned quite a few times during the podcast. Yeah, I listened to them all. Been a fan of No Means No for a majority of my life. Born in 1980. First time I heard them was around 1996 when a schoolmate of mine named Miro Lajovic, or perhaps Lajovic. There's no accent on there. I think a C in Slovenian is just C. Shout out to the dude if you're listening. Forever grateful. Introduced me to many punk rock bands because I was pretty noobish on that genre because my parents weren't exactly rockers. First punk rock tape that he lent to me was a 2-album piece of Bad Religion, Suffer, and DI, Horse Bites, Dog Cries. Needless to say, it blew my mind right away. After that, he gradually fed me bands like The Misfits, Minor Threat, NoFX, Dead Kennedys, SNFU, Snuff, TOA, Social Distortion, not in that order, and I liked the fucking lot of them. After a while, he gave me some more delicate bands like Fugazi, Primus, and when I got my hands on a mix album tape of No Means No, I got hooked instantly. It was a 90-minute audio tape. On one side, it was Sex Mad, which is a perfect fit for one side length, and Wrong on the other side, which wasn't. The last song didn't make it into the cut, and I knew something was missing because the song at the end of the tape was just brutally stopped, and it didn't sit well with me. So I asked him first chance I got, what the fuck? And he calmed me down. And he has one 60-minute length audio tape with just Wrong on it, and it was complete with a full I Am Wrong song. He also had Sex Mad You Kill Me compilation, and soon I got my hands on that one too. A few years later, when I got a job in Ljubljana, I was able to buy my stuff, and for my first paycheck, I bought myself a Discman and 3 CDs. Sex Mad You Kill Me, Wrong, and Sailing the Seas of Cheese by Primus, which was also one of my Holy Trinity bands alongside Fugazi.
Nice.
Although
Sweet.
No Means No always stood out for me for some reason. Goat, I guess.
Greatest of all time is
Thank
what
you.
Goat is.
Go all time, I guess. I never knew that. That year I bought all of the albums of them 3 bands I could get my hands on. I saw all of them live, Fugazi and Primus, just once each, but No Means No were on my regular concert list. One year when they made 3 shows in a little over a month, when they were in Ausfart touring with the Invasives, I went to all 3 of them. I think that one venue in Zagreb, Croatia, canceled. So Irena Buba, who was their booking promoter in Slovenia, rest in peace, squeezed them in for another one here. Croatia is our neighboring country. Yes, thank you. When John saw me on the last one before the show started, he just smiled, raised his bottle of beer, and nodded his head like, "You're crazy, dude." I was a little crazy back then.
Nice.
Yes, crazy about the band because I was overwhelmed by their music altogether, but seeing them live was just something else. So sure, you can appreciate their music without live experience. When you see them live, it's like, I can't even describe it. John's drumming made me want to quit playing drums, although I picked up a thing or two from him. Their energy level at that mileage and age, of course, I never wanted to impose because every time fans surround them like vultures and I didn't want to be one, although I regret that I don't have at least one photo with the band. Sadly, I can't even remember where I saw them first. I know that it was Dance of Headless Bourgeoisie tour, and since then I missed them only once in Slovenia, and that was when they were playing at Rock Otocets Festival, which was unusual for them, because they didn't do festivals, but I think that was more of a favor to Buba than anything else. I was pretty blessed with the opportunity to see them live that many times. There was a short period of time when I was pen paling with Tom, a couple of emails. I think I got his mail from whoever was taking care of that site, No Means Whatever. I think, not sure, but Tom was a great sport, didn't mind that correspondence at all, or so I thought. But anyway, I stopped after a few exchanges. That's pretty much about it for my part. I must congratulate you guys for your podcast. I love it. I see that episode 30 was uploaded today. Oh man, sorry, dude.
Yeah, man.
I hope he's still fucking listening.
Woo!
So I'll have a blast tomorrow at work listening to it. Thanks and good luck to everyone who's listening. May you live long and prosper.
Oh,
Montez.
Hey. That was fucking great. I'm so sorry we lost that. That was fucking great. Fucking great. Hail Slovenia, man. Fucking great.
Yeah.
And good job, Matthew. I think you did. You got to read these ones. I'd fucking butchered all that shit. You're way better.
Can't even read.
Fucking linguist. Excellent. Boy, it's good. Man, I love those listener submissions.
I
Please
do
write them in,
too.
folks.
It feels
Please
like a
write
friend
shit
you
we
haven't
can
met
read.
yet, right?
We didn't have one last week, and or not last week, fucking like last 10 weeks ago. I felt
send
so
them in,
left
dum-dums.
alone. Yeah, send them in. Send them in. Hey, we're doing this shit for you. Least you can do is write us shit. That's your job. We got this job. You got that job. Fucking step up. All right.
Oh no.
All right. In this
guess what?
corner, we're starting round
Guess what time it is? Guess what time it is?
It's pee-pee time.
Pee-pee
certainly is.
time.
Yeah.
Pee-pee
Yes, it is.
Let's
time.
go.
See you
Ding,
in a
minute.
ding, 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 ding.
Okay. We're back from pee-pee time. Matthew's got a
It's
second beverage,
pee-pee
another sangria.
time.
Are we doing two of those?
This is a pink gin and tonic.
Ooh.
I don't know what the pink is, except
A ginless tonic.
yeah. Oh, it's a
Pink lemonade.
Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, no. No, it's got all like the botanical stuff that goes into gin. It just doesn't have because like
Oh,
gin's
nice.
basically like herbal vodka.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, we're peed. We're steeped in juices. And we're going to start our second round here. So, second round are two songs, again, opposite ends of the fucking spectrum completely.
Yep.
We've got Ya Little Creep off of Narwhar, The Human Serviette presents Clam Chowder and Ice versus Big Macs and Bombers, 1991. Great fucking album.
Mhm.
That Ya Little Creep won up against, on episode 41, it won up against New Age. And that was a unanimous decision. So when I saw this one coming up, again, no spoilers. It's not that I don't like this song, but I was like, really? This was a round 2 song? And I'm like, oh yeah, went up against New Age. That was a fitting battle. So anyway, it won unanimously. It's up against. Do you hear that thundering in the distance? Can you see it coming over the horizon? The giant spikes, lightning is shooting up into the sky. I think it's a giant fucking kaiju. It's a kaiju called Joyful Reunion stomping over the cities of Tokyo. Ladies and gentlemen, please head to your basements. Head to your basements. As Joyful Reunion, 0 + 2 = 1, 1991. It won in episode 33 against a hard pull.
Oh,
Teresa, give me that knife.
Yeah.
And this was a Matt and Jordan siding with the kaiju in fear for our very lives against Michelle, who went with the much more delicate and dainty choice. Teresa, give me that knife.
I like that. I like
So we're
No, you
gonna
don't.
we're gonna creep we're gonna
dainty.
we're gonna joyfully creep up to the boundaries of reality here. Hear a little bit of these songs mashed together, and then we're gonna hear what Matthew has to say about them. So here's a little joy and creepiness in your ears.
If you were a dog, they'd put you to sleep. Your looks ain't good, and your mind's not deep. When the talk ain't cheap, you got nothing to say. You're high all night, and you're sick all day. I wanna take you home, you little creep, you little creep.
right, Matthew, what you got?
I can't think of a single other song on that that Nardwuar compilation because I played the shit out of this one on my radio show. This is honestly one of my favorite No Means No songs.
Oh,
You
Oh,
little
I
creep.
love that.
It's just
I
so
love it.
the songwriting is just so
Yeah.
simple and perfect. It is a
Mhm.
Hanson song without being a Hanson song because it's not, this is a Hanson song that they've slapped No Means No on. It's a No Means No song, but it just
Yeah.
so simple, so funny.
Make
Again,
you smile.
like Paradise, so much like about the scene in Victoria, especially knowing what Andy wore. Very, very preppy and in your face. He was kind of like the quintessential opposite of the slime
No.
bag in the
What?
in the little creep. I think that this is Andy's best sung song.
Wow.
Are you serious?
That's a big statement, mister.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he's just he's got so much, he's having so much fun, he's got so much control, he does so many different things. He's got his glottis open, he does like a snarl, he's got like, all over the place. He's fantastic. The lyrics are perfect. They're simple, the subject is simple, they match the lyrics perfectly and the music perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Whereas, okay, Joyful Reunion, another one of my absolute favorite songs. It has a lot of meaning for me. I've said before how Ghosts and Joyful Reunion is one of my favorite 1-2 punches on, maybe my favorite 1-2 punch on any No Means No album. They're inextricable for me, although you can listen to them individually, but I sort of need the chocolate and the peanut butter. And they are songs that helped me a lot when my dad, after my dad died. And I just had the idea when I was listening to this song and reading the lyrics again and how much they mean to me, that a very old friend of mine came to visit me after. I don't see him very often. I, much to my chagrin, haven't been part of each other's lives as much as I would like, but he made a point of coming to see me after my dad died. And he is actually a Presbyterian minister. Friend, one of my oldest friends, I could not be less religious, but he once said that I was one of the best Christians he knows.
Wow.
Oh man.
Which is pretty cool. Anyway, his dad just chose. He had dementia connected with Parkinson's, and just the other day he chose what's called in Canada MAID, medically assisted death.
Oh, right.
So he went off
Wow.
peacefully, and I'm going to make a very strong point of pointing my friend to these lyrics and these songs, even though they're not necessarily his cup of tea. I think he'll really get a lot out of the meaning.
Wow. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
So,
okay.
Songwriting for Joy of Reunion is so just. It's just like a. It's hard for me to describe like sort of the image in my head. It's like just a huge laser beam, but not thin, like a big fucking cable of a laser beam, just like shooting through space. It's gonna go it's not gonna stop at the planet and sort of like burn a big orange hole in it before going through.
It's gonna blast right through that fucker.
Yeah. The lyrics are some of the most powerful lyrics in any No Means No song for me. Some of my favorite lyrics in any verse at all. His performance is super intense. I get the lyrics up here. I love
say that in there. Why should you?
Oh yeah.
Does he say that? I like that.
An aside to himself at the end of each verse. So the way it's written in the lyrics is it's in brackets. So it's sort of like he says something really powerful, and then it's sort of like not a response, but just like a little addendum.
Okay.
And he's like responding to himself, even though he's talking to someone else. So I get these lyrics up because I wanted to quote some of them, and I wish I had not got rid of them.
Jordan probably knows them.
I know them. I know them too, but I want to pull them out and make sure that I say them.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I've got a new setup here, and I've got like a 60-inch screen, and it's actually
it's
really
a big TV.
It's impractical. I am discovering that it is impractical to use a computer on a screen that you have to totally crane your neck everywhere. Anyway,
Back up.
Yeah. Did you give a damn? Why should you? And hung up. Bye. I don't know anything anymore. There's always just to rise again is my special art. You can't kill me. There's like a response to each first couple of lines. Super amazing. I still tear up from a bunch of these, especially.
Hi.
I'll grow up again with First Rain just the same. This song always lifts me up when I'm feeling down. It is a song about erasure but indomitability. It is a song of absolutely relentless and positive and powerful joy. I love the tearing guitar at the beginning where it's the drums come in and it's like it's like he's tearing open the package that the guitar is in. Like,
That's right. It's the womb. The guitar's in this bloody womb. It's like,
Are you talking about the pick slide?
yeah,
That's a pick slide. It's sick.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love pretty much everything else, everything in it. The hi-hat. There's a part where I don't know what it is. It sounds like what I would think a bow, like a violin bow bounced on strings would sound like. It's just like this percussive thing that he's doing with the guitar.
I don't know what you mean.
It's at the beginning as well with the sort of tearing sounds.
I do know what you mean. Like it's almost like Rob. It sounds like Rob just kind of bouncing off the strings, but it does sound like a bow more. Yeah.
I think
he's either doing something really cool with
slowing down. I think he's slowing down the pick and going between the.
No, it's Rob though.
Grooves.
It's not.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
Think so? It could be.
I think he's just going.
But it sounds so bouncy. Anyway, I know what you're talking about. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
The
if that's the right spot, I think that's
double
what it
drums. I only found that out years later, but yeah, he actually double tracked the drums. Cheater. He didn't grow himself an extra appendage.
No shit. Take the easy road. Why don't you?
Let's see. A little creep. What do I like about it? I just like the snottiness. I love Andy.
Yep.
It is just such a joyful song as well. What bugs me about You Little Creep is that maybe there's not more like it. I would have liked to see more of those sillier songs, maybe that went into the Hansons after Andy left. But a little bit more playful, a little bit more silly, which here in early Nobody's Know that Andy is in, but it's a little darker tone somehow. I don't know. Okay, what do I like about, or what bugs me about Joyful Reunion? Nothing, except the fact that it needs ghosts, and maybe the fact that it was the last, except possibly Forward to Death. It was the last song released with Andy on it.
Right. Yep. This is denouement.
Yeah. So
great.
That is. I think. I mean, I'm not a time signature guy, but I think there's a bunch of them going on at once. I think the drums are in 5/4 at one point.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. I wonder if I haven't caught that before.
Yeah.
It is. It's
I like
hard to nail
5/4.
down. Yeah.
Huh.
All right, Strangey.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Is it my turn now?
Your turn.
All right.
You're up. You're up a bat. Casey's
All
a
right.
bat.
You little creep. Man, Andy couldn't suck if he wanted to. That's my first sentence, and I mean it. The man couldn't suck if he wanted to. This song from Note 1 is full of sneer and attitude. His guitar sounds like aluminum foil in a good way. Some of the hardest songs to write are the simplest ones. I have a piece of paper over my light here, so it's a little difficult for me to read, so that's why I sound like this. Yeah, some of the hardest songs to write are the simplest ones. And this one delivers a good kick in the ass with plenty of snarl. Comparing it to Joyful Reunion is really kind of pointless as they're so different. One is a crusty punk and the other is a colossal explosion of cool. If I recall correctly, our thoughts about You Little Creep were positive nods to the subject of the song, even though they had their flaws. They're a positive band, right? Joyful Reunion. If this song doesn't blow your mind and kick your ass, you might be dead. The goddamn drums are once again at center stage and it's daring as fuck. Another gem is the pick slides Rob does. This is a fan favorite for all the right reasons, and anyone I talk to is even vaguely familiar with this band cites this as crucial listening. For anyone who's actually seen it, it is something that won't be forgotten anytime soon. One of their, quote, epic bangers that I think even they'd put on their top 10 list.
Nice.
I think they would put it. I think they would put this up there as one of their favorites.
Andy wouldn't. He was sort of
He was
not
kind of
disparaging, but
he was
little,
one altogether.
yeah, it was a little not a little dismissive of it.
John and Rob would.
Yeah,
and,
probably. I remember Rob saying that
Tom.
he had, when we were in the interview with him, that he had like several more verses for it, and John was like, no.
Wait. Of Joyful Reunion? I thought it was...
No, it's Joyful Reunion. And he was like, and John was like, no, it's not. It's to be too long. It's got to... I mean, now, as much as I'd love to... I was going to say, as much as I'd like to hear what those are, this is perfectly played. Like, it's just as long as it needs to be.
Right.
Right. All right. Anything else, Michelle? Should I dive in?
No, that was it. Your turn.
All right. Yeah, man. You Little Creep versus Joyful Reunion. I mean, fucking, I could stretch my arms out as far as I possibly could, be Mr. Stretchy, and it still would not be far enough apart to show how different these songs are. So probably why I would have less to say about You Little Creep is that I was brand new to me as of this podcast. Like, I did not have spin it on a radio song. I had never heard the Nardwuar compilation. Had never heard it, period, ever. So it was really fantastic to discover it. I think I'd agree, Matthew, in that it's a Hanson Brothers song, but it's not, right? It's more, it's got more No Means No DNA, although, yeah, it does. And Michelle, as you said, sometimes the simplest songs are the hardest to play, right?
Yeah.
It's
the hardest to
write.
write.
It's harder to write.
Yeah.
They're hard to make engaging, but this song is really, really fucking engaging, really well done.
Yeah.
I could not in a million years say this is Andy's best performance, but it's as Matthew would, but I think it's a fucking great performance, and Andy is amazing in it. Is absolutely amazing and very subtle. Like, he really plays that sneer so many different ways.
I know.
It's so fucking great. I think it's a very sweet song in its way, right? Like, it's a very sweet kind of
sincere
hookup love story.
It's about a crush.
It's about a crush and a hookup, and it's just
Weird
fucking
crush.
great. And
smell.
through the
I like
disgusting
that.
aspects of someone to be like, yeah, you know what? Let's make it work. It's gonna work. I can see what's underneath there. So I think it's fucking great in that, and it's a great song. It's a really good No Means No song, and then there's fucking Joyful Reunion. And I'm sorry if you've ever seen that old cartoon from years and years and years ago when I was a kid called Bambi versus Godzilla. That's this to me. Like, fucking Joyful Reunion just comes and it's just like,
I don't think
sorry, Bambi, you're just a splat. Joyful Reunion's got to take the stage. Joyful Reunion is so powerful and intimate at the same time. It's both powerful and intimate. It's both huge and direct. It's anthemic and yet
the fucking
personal.
drums. God.
All of it, the drums and Rob's performance. Rob's performance is incredible.
Yep.
It is incredible. This I had put in my notes last time, and I still agree that if I were to ever do a No Means No karaoke, like, this would be the song I'd want to do. Like, I'd want to get up there and scream this song.
Oh man,
in karaoke, just to like fucking how cathartic it would be to just shout this song out. Joyful Reunion is just, it's so joyous, and it has a vein of destruction and a vein of genesis that run parallel. It's raising the institutions to the ground and raising the institutions up at the same time.
Right.
It walks that line, that paradoxical line of the way down and the way up. And it has that, even in the sense of what it sounds like, it's this song that you could imagine just fucking ripping everything down. But at the same time, it makes you want to build something back up again, right?
Yeah.
It's got all of that. It's again one of those songs
Mm-hmm.
that's very holographic. It's very hagiographic. It makes you feel what it's trying to say in every fucking aspect of it. It is absolutely a work of genius. It is absolutely a work of art, and probably my favorite closer of No Means No by far. I think the ending this album was just like, fuck yeah, like those 10 out of 10 no notes. This is absolutely, and if Andy had to go out, although it's not a showcase of Andy, really, right? Like it's pretty straightforward in the guitar, even though he does a great job.
Right.
In terms of like a note to go out on for that era of the band, fucking hey, I mean, it's fucking joyful. It's a reunion. By the way, can you guys get us a joyful reunion? That'd be really great. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, thank you.
And lyrically, it's also raw, as you mentioned, Matthew. It's Rob at the top of his game. I mean, he uses it's something he does quite often, where he uses these common turns of phrase, but he uses them in the way that totally add more depth and subvert their original meaning. And going back to my notes before, I still that line, in this ball of confusion through these painful convolutions, there's no clear-cut solution, just a joyful reunion. And realizing that painful convolutions, just that alone has like 4 or 5 meanings, right? It's like painful convolutions, which sounds like convulsions. Things are convoluted when they're too complicated and they're too hard to get through. Convolutions are also the crenellations on your brain, but it's also this type of equation, I'm going to say again, that are a mathematical operation with 2 functions that produce a third function that expresses how the shape of one is modified by the other. Which, if you really unpack that, that's the whole fucking song in one lyric, right? And to me, this song really, it does speak to that feeling of a voice that's been kept down too long, that's being released. But this time, listening to it more and more, it really felt like a conscience. It felt like suppressed conscience that can't be fucking suppressed, and how it's always going to come to the fore at some point. And you can squeeze the world into the palm of your hand. When it lay in pieces, we give a damn. Why should you? But I'm not going to fucking let you stand by that, right? Like you're going to be cut and dry and hung up, right? Like bye-bye. You're not going to be able to stand with that. Everything is this, someone trying to avoid what they are, and that friend who makes you start again is going to pop up. That smash through the looking glass fucker. I'm you.
Yeah,
but I'm that part of you that you'll never be able, as much as you try to keep that part of you down, it's going to fucking be there, and it's going to confront you. And at the same time, embracing that is joyful, because that's the part, if you make peace with, you're going to be a whole person. It's when you don't make peace with that conscience,
you're
going to be in constant fucking pain and fucking, cut off from the source of what you are. And so it's this painful convolution to fucking face that and to hear it. And it's something that's going to fucking smash right through the glass with a bloody fist. But accepting it is what's going to make you whole. And that's fucking joyful. God, this song is just so fucking good.
And the music is as good as the lyrics.
And the
music is as good as the lyrics.
And I think I hinted that maybe, like Paradise, this didn't have as many contours. Fuck it. Of course it does. It has so many fucking contours in different ways. It's loud all the time until, of course, you get to that beautiful part where everything cuts out in the middle and it's just a again, it just goes right back to the drums, and it lets you breathe a minute. Then Rob layers back in, the guitars layer back in, and then it just fucking comes right back in at fucking 12 and takes you all the way to the fucking end. Just every part of this is so well executed. I just want to eat the song alive. I just want to fucking take it inside and eat it alive. And I absolutely can listen to the song 100 times straight. I can just fucking rewind, replay. And it never fucking gets old.
No.
This is a gift. It's a gift that this song was made. It's a gift that this song exists. It's a gift that we get to fucking talk about it. And then all you fuckers out there get to go and go, yep, I'm going to listen to this right now after this episode. Fuck this. I'm going to go listen to fucking Joyful Reunion.
That's how you go out. That's how you leave the world.
That's how you leave it.
It's a mic drop. It's a fucking mic drop.
They took a city and dropped it. That's what they did on this. A mic is nothing, man. This is they picked up a continent and went like, fuck you, fuckers. God, everything about this song.
So what you voting for?
Everything about this song is absolute perfection.
Yep.
What do I not like about You Little Creep? Well, no, I mean, nothing in particular. Like, there's nothing about it I don't like. I think it's a really fucking good song. It's really like you said, it's like it's deceptively simple, but so fucking well executed.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think I would want more of this in the No Means No oeuvre. I'm happy that they went in Hanson Brothers and did all of that, but I don't need more of that in my peanut butter. I'm happy to keep that in the chocolate land, but it's beautiful chocolate. Joyful Reunion, fucking, yeah, man. That's like, I don't know. Yeah, fucking a million times over. Give that to me.
It's coffee.
Give that to me in every hole. I will take it. All right. Let's start round 2. Matthew,
Oh
what do you
God!
got for round 2 here?
Okay,
Give
is
that to me in every hole.
You Little Creep representative of No Means No? No, it is not. It is quite unique, quite it stands on its own, and appropriately enough, it is not on a No Means No official release. It is on a compilation. It is with other things. And we should explain what that was. Actually, it was a bunch of Canadian bands on one side and a bunch of American bands on the other.
That's right.
I don't know that. That wasn't released anywhere else of No Means No, and I don't know whether the other songs were written specifically for that compilation, or I don't know enough about it. I have it. I should probably get it out and have a look. Ideas for the episode title.
Right.
Yeah. Is it representative of No Means No's? Or is it important in the oeuvre? No, it's not either. It's a one-off. Too unusual, too weird. Would I recommend it? I would play this for anybody, but not to get them into No Means No.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because it's a great song. It's hilarious. It's impossible not to like it, I would say. Joyful Reunion. Representative? I don't know. Maybe not. It's very unlike most other No Means No songs, particularly because there's no bass in it. That is one thing that definitely stands out for me.
There isn't?
Nope. There ain't.
Oh. Okay. All right. Go on.
Is it important?
You just blew my mind, but go on.
Yes, I think it's very, very important. It's again a lot of. It's one that people know. It's one that people remember. It is an amazing kicker. It's one of the most intense and powerful songs. I'd say it's very, very important. And would I introduce a newbie to it? It depends. I think maybe not the best song to get people into No Means No if that's the intention. But I might play it for somebody just as an incredible thing and something that means a lot to me, but maybe not representing No Means No. So I don't know.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Those are good points. Michelle, how about you?
Is it my turn?
Your turn for round 2.
Okay. I like what you said, Matthew, about playing it for somebody, because again, I have a hard time answering that because it depends on the situation. And I initially wrote no. I wouldn't play this for somebody.
Sorry, which song are you talking about?
Joyful Reunion.
Okay.
Were you talking about that?
Well, you're supposed to compare them. Yes, I was.
I did the wrong thing.
No, you didn't. You didn't. It just wasn't clear.
No, I don't know if I would play them for it as if I would, unless it was really quiet and I wanted to bombard them with something. I probably would. But would I take them to see this live? Fuck yes.
Good point. Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I think I'm going out of turn here with the thing. You Little Creep, would I play this for somebody? Maybe. Not to blow their minds or anything, but I would play it as a great, succinct, perfect punk rock song about being snarly and greasy and gross and how that's not such a bad thing. It's a great song. I love it. Am I fucking up here?
No, not at all.
All right. Are we doing the third one now?
Nope, not yet.
Oh God,
no
I just shit the bed. Okay. No.
All right, no.
Okay.
So,
right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in terms of where they fit, are they both in the oeuvre or represent No Means No as a whole? Yeah, I don't think You Little Creep does really. Maybe throws up into their alter ego, the Hanson Brothers, a bit on that. So it's not representative of a part of them. but I don't think For No Means No itself it's very representative. I think I think Joyful Reunion is not in the sense that it follows a formula that you might find in other songs, but in the fact that
Thematically.
it's so emotionally powerful
Yeah.
in such an immediate way. Meaning that for
Mm-hmm.
me, I don't think it takes much, even if you don't understand the lyrics, to just grok the impact and the power
Rock.
behind what is being said. I think it's very
Right.
immediate, and I think it doesn't. It's not subtle in that way. And I think there are other No Means No songs that are like that in the sense that it makes you feel, oh shit, these guys are tapped
Yeah.
into something really fucking strong, and it
Yeah.
all just comes through. So I think it is representative for me in that way. But yeah, it is also very unique in a way. There's no bass in it. It's very fucking. I don't know. It's hard. They're both songs that are very, but it is very representative in the sense that it's an important song. It is one of
Oh.
their songs that you can, any No Means No fan, you could go Joyful Reunion and their eyes just light up like
Absolutely.
fuck yeah,
Absolutely. That's
song.
the top of the mountaintop with that one.
100%. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I would never play Your Little Creep for anybody. Probably, it's not like I don't know anybody that would that I like people I'm trying to get into their music. I'd be trying to get into for the emotional heft, and this one doesn't have it. Like the Little Creep doesn't. So I don't think I'd ever play it for anybody. It's not that I don't think it's a good song, but I just wouldn't have any reason to. Whereas Joyful Reunion, no, I would, depending, because I do feel like it short circuits the need for someone to understand why No Means No is a good band, just because it's so emotionally direct and clear that without even understanding the lyrics, it just is a circuit that I feel like you can plug right into someone's chest and go,
Yeah.
there it is. This is
Yeah.
this is them at 11, but listen, I'm going to have you lie down in the dark, and I just want you to listen to this. I'm going to plug you into the wall. Ready? Here we go. And I just think it's an experience. It's something, and I've played this for people in that sort of scenario. I think it depends on the person. This is a hard question. It's like, who is it that I'm trying to? But
yeah.
if I really want someone to feel the band without having to be like, oh, listen to the words really carefully, or would you hear that part? But just like, no, just lay back and just let it fucking wash over you like a tidal wave.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is that song. I don't think there's any other song that's just kind of like, yeah, just fucking take it in all your holes. Open up your holes. It's coming. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. All right. I think we're going to voting. Matthew, you're up.
Oh, I wonder where this is going.
It's Joyful Reunion. I love You Little Creep, but yeah, it's a one-off. It's a novelty song, and Joyful Reunion is just so incredibly like powerful for me. And I am. I mean, my friend I mentioned, he will have heard No Means No. I'm sure I've taken him to a show over the years, but it will definitely be back. I'm introducing him to with Joyful Reunion, and he is one of the Christians that you wish most Christians were, and I think there'll be a lot for him in the lyrics to this song that will help him as much as maybe on a different level. But it could have a very Christian interpretation.
Sure.
And not in a
Christian in the acts meaning, like how you actually are in the world.
That's
not in the hypocritical bullshit way. Yeah. No, I think that's well said.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Michelle.
Oh, okay. I want to give some props to You Little Creep. Andy's killing it in this, just like Matthew said. He's so fucking raw. However, Joyful Reunion is totally getting my vote. The onslaught, the fucking drums coming down the street, coming to bite your ass. God damn, is this something? It's something else.
100%.
Epic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Joyful Reunion for me too. I mean, You Little Creep, again, I'm really glad to have discovered it by doing this podcast. No shade on it at all. But I mean, Joyful Reunion, it got a bad pull for sure. I mean, you could put up a bunch of songs against Joyful Reunion and they'd fall to the wayside. But You Little Creep, to me, is an easy crumb to wipe off the table.
It just
it's
makes
a good
you
song.
feel good, doesn't it? It makes
me
feel good.
It makes me feel all sorts of things. It makes me feel good, powerful, sad, melancholy, intense, present. And really, let me say this about the song too. One of the big differences between these two kind of songs for me and No Means No. You Little Creep, my mind will wander as I'm listening to it. It does not pull my attention into it. Joyful Reunion, my mind never wanders. I am fully attentive without effort. It brings my attention to the fore and nails it there, right to the cross.
Yep.
just because of its intensity and sincerity. So yeah, Joff reunion by a kaiju mile. Wow,
Man, we
unanimity.
voted unanimous.
Unanimous.
Unanimous twice.
Sweet.
Hey, I wanted to bring up something that you was sort of a little aside for you, but just because
Who you?
I'm from Victoria, Vancouver area, and we're talking about No Means No, and something that started in this area and really influenced a lot of stuff. You mentioned Bambi Meets Godzilla, a little animated short, and Bambi versus Godzilla was actually made by Marv Newland. I think he's American, but he lived in Canada most of his life, and or still does. And he in large part is Vancouver has a huge, and has for a long time, animation industry. And he started International Rocket Ship animation. So animation festivals. Luba the Butcher. MTV, YTV, Nickelodeon, tons and tons of stuff this guy did. I don't think that there would be the kind of animation industry in Vancouver had it not been for Marv Newland. And
look at that.
I don't think there'd be like
Hi.
Star Trek Lower Decks. I don't think there would be Rick and Morty without Marv Newland. So props for you to have him mention
Beavis
that
and
little,
Butthead?
Yep, probably.
I love Beavis and Butthead.
So yeah,
no, I mean that was
page
one
I'm
of
on.
those early formative cartoons for me that went like, oh, people could be really fucking weird in cartoons. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
I'm so
Fucking
glad
A.
you two met. I'm
No
so
shit.
glad you two met.
No
Can I
shit.
just say that you're brothers from another mother's?
Brothers
both
in the
of you.
weird.
Yep, you are.
Well, folks, this has been a fun
Jeez.
one. Unlike most of
Yeah.
our recent outings, this one is not 2 to 3 hours long. We're at a crisp hour and a half, which I think is pretty great. No Means No Thing is produced and edited by yours truly, Jordan Flato. Co-hosting and podcast graphics are by the excellent Matthew Kowalik.
Yeah.
Michelle Strangers is our third, and let's face it, everyone's favorite co-host and official Foley artist.
Stop it.
Shout out to our mascot, Teddy. We love you, Teddy. Thank you to No Means No for the use of stock taking as our intro and outro music. My mind is buried at the bottom of the sea. My voice, it's eaten by the crabs.
You sick and tired of the same old thing? Or are you happy enough? Tell me, when there's so much becomes so little, when does too little become too much, when does so much become so little, when does too little become too much?
All right, we're in the nether regions, folks. Let's roll the dice. Oh,
I've got my paper.
Oh, an old controversial favorite rears its ugly head. Oh, my dude.
Are you typing?
It's coming. Are you ready?
No,
There it is.
I see
There
nothing.
it is. It's in chat. Look in the chat.
Oh,
Oh, and it's another. Okay. Well, fuck, man. Some of these epics are just hiding in the bushes. This is
this
not okay.
is gonna be fun. That one is gonna
Yeah,
be
this
fucking
one's gonna be fun,
fun.
too. This one's gonna be fun too. Look at this next one. Yeah, interesting episode.
Oh, wow.
Interesting episode. All right, folks, tune in because that's going to be fun. We may or may not have a guest. I know we had promised that we were going to have guests on every episode.
Yeah,
well,
we
guess
gotta
what?
get
That's
some,
fucking hard,
invitees.
but we're going to do it. Yeah, we got some plans.
Yeah,
so,
trying to get 4 fucking schedules meshed into.
yeah, it's rough. Just our 3 schedules is like fucking calculus. So anyway, all right.
wanna
Well,
get
that's
what's-his
it.
toots
So
up there.
we'll see you next time. And I forgot to tell you all. Fuck off.
Oh, jeez.